I'm working on a project, and I would love for you to join me.
And there, my hour timer starts. Alright, so as you can see, the stuff on the screen is the red. I usually label my layers like by name, but I also do it by color just to make sure I know immediately which layer I'm working with. I only use 3 colors because I only use 3 layers, unless I'm trying to do something real specific like highlights and stuff, then I'll do that on a separate layer. Other things like trees and clouds, they get their own layer, but for the most part these are the basic layers. I use red for the line layer, I use blue for shadows, and I use green for the base color. Pretty simple, straightforward. So I'm going to start with this idea I got, wasting too much time as it is. I often come in with ideas just kind of inspired by shots that I see, but you know, it's not always anything spectacular. Like the last one I did was pretty straightforward, pretty basic. Oh yeah, I also tend to do background layers as well. Not always, but in this case I do think I need one. Something simple, just to kind of show the movement of everything. So I usually have that in the back, and I treat the background layer the same way I treat the characters. So if I'm going to have a background, it's the line layer, and then another one for color, and maybe for shadow. For this reel it won't be shadow, but I also use colors for those as well. So try to make them similar. So for red, the replacement for a background would end up being like either orange or purple. I usually go with orange. It's basically just trying to get a color that's similar to the character alternative. I don't know, it makes a little more sense when you're actually doing it. But for background, since there's green, I could either go with a different color. I usually would just go with like the same color, darker. But if I have a tree layer, I make sure the tree layer is green, like on its own. And since that's all I'm working with right now, that's all I'm going to use. So we'll hop into the background this time first. Depends on what you want to do. Normally how I typically go about it, but gonna try to keep it really simple for this. So a simple line, I gotta make that real quick. Alright, so I'll just, for the background, just grab like the pen layer or the line, and what I actually want to do, let me try one more of that. I'll put it slanted for a reason, and I think that's all I'm going to go with for that. We'll color it in a second, but I just need it to kind of give a horizon line. And we'll hop over to the character line layer, and actually what we want to do for that background layer, we're going to redo that. Let's actually have it, let's say, way up top first, and we will animate it. We'll jump ahead about 3-4 frames. It doesn't matter too much, as long as I can see where the last one was, and then we will bring it down, move over a couple more frames, new frame, And as it's coming down, we're gonna try to even it out a little bit. Now, usually I wouldn't say that I do this much detail with my background work often, but this is not a lot of detail right now, but once it's done, you'll see. But it's oftentimes you don't really need that much detail. But for what I'm trying to do this time, I think I might. So that's about as far as it needs to go. And the reason why it's coming from up top is because it's going to be revealed to be the horizon line. You'll see later, hopefully. If not, you can always check out the reel. I'm sure it'll be online by tomorrow, because that's what I usually do. I work on them for pretty much the whole time. So I work on them straight all the way through. I don't really take breaks because they shouldn't take that long. That's why. So what I kind of want to do, so when I usually make reels, I don't put character details like facial features, because like I said, it's just to get used to the art of animating, not necessarily facial details. That can be done fairly easy. They just take longer. But since my characters it's usually about movement in the reels, I don't do facial features. It's usually just little puppet type characters, like sock puppet looking characters. So let's see what we'll do. Thinking maybe go with different colors this time around. I did red last time. It was like dark red, but I've already done 2 different red ones. I try to pick a different color every single time, but we'll go with, we did green before too, but it was darker green, so we'll go lime green on this one, and we'll just get started. So typically the idea for the should I go double color on this one? Let's go with a blue as well. So I can't really explain how I come up with the ideas. What I can explain though is the wasting time and just dead air. But anyway, you know what? I'm not gonna use that other color. I will just color it in that other color later. The ideas I come up with, they typically have like a semi-story behind them. Not anything spectacular. It's a shot, you know, just nothing special. This particular one will be, when I see this on, I didn't see this particular shot, but I did see something similar to it, so it kind of gave me the idea for this shot. So it'll be, I don't know, a guy pulling a severed head from his waist. So I think this will be the severed head. I need a bigger eraser because this is doing a terrible job of erasing. There we go. Alright, so when I do the reels, I usually sketch. One reason is because sketching is the original way I learned how to draw. But not just that, it's supposed to be faster. It just don't seem like it right now, but it's supposed to be faster. But also when I sketch, it gives like a, I don't know what to call it, maybe an organic kind of feel. But when I can't figure out the proper, what's it called? I'm trying to think of the word. Proper, not dimensions, but aspect. I don't know. The visual, like when you're trying to do animation as far as like the movement goes, the way I try to do it is act as the camera. I don't want to say camera angle for what I'm thinking of, because I mean I am trying to find the camera angle, but that's, I don't know. it's a little more difficult to draw and think at the same time. That's not gonna work for me. Let's see. Foreshortening is a part of the thing. It's a part of what I'm trying to think of. And I know anybody who watches is like, the word is this, and I'm like, I'm blanking on it. I'm sure it'll come back later, but now that's just one frame. I want to detail this elbow a little bit more, but I don't want to overdo it. Since they don't usually have any facial features, I don't want to waste my time drawing like a nose, even though it won't be detailed. We'll go to the next frame. Oh wait, before we do the next frame, we have to draw the head that he's pulling. Since this one was thought of kind of just randomly, I don't have the camera movement. Well, I have the camera movement placed in my head, but I don't know how to go about it just yet. Actually, I don't even know if I'm gonna need that background. But we're gonna jump ahead to, I'm gonna hide that background because I think it's gonna distract me. We'll go to the next frame, which would be, let's see. Now I usually like to copy and paste, not copy and paste, but use the previous layer. I guess it is copy and paste, but it's done a different way in Clip Studio, at least how I have it. But we got the onion skin, so it's helpful. I'm thinking maybe I probably should have had him start reaching for it instead of already having his arm prepped to reach for it, but it's okay. We'll just work with what we got. So what we're gonna have him do, that's the head, that's the arm. I'm just gonna have him start moving his arm out. Lime green, that was a weird choice to go with this time around. Actually, let's back that up a little bit and try hands in almost every single one of these things, but I guess gotta get used to it because the animated series that I'm working on has hands galore, so just gotta deal with it. So now the stupid eraser is too big and I don't feel like changing it. But anyway, the head still here, but what we want to do is have hair in the head. Now for little things like this, normally what I would do, I would change the color so that it can be determined later like what it actually is. I'm not doing any of that right now. The concept is it's a head on his waist. Let me connect that. It's a severed head. I think God of War was the inspiration for it, but I didn't want to use the head that he has because I never even played the game, so I don't want to be a poser about the thing. But I just saw a clip online and I was like, not a bad idea. So as the angle changes, we will not be using the same photo again. It's hard to tell what's going on until you see like the finished product, but hopefully with these scribbles on the screen you can kind of tell a little bit. Especially as I, try to draw them out a little bit better. So like that first angle, you find out now that I'm on the third shot that it was a top-down view. Let's see, shoulder, pecs. Do I want to connect them? No, it doesn't matter. Not right now, at least. Bicep off the screen. Other bicep has to be shortened. Remember, carrying the head by the hair. At least that's the plan. As it plays back, you'll see it, but we won't get much detail from just 3 pictures, so we'll have to wait a little bit. I'm trying to get as much in as I can for such a short time, because I'm only going to do an hour. I'm only going to do an hour. I don't know what that was, but only going to do an hour. Here, I'll finish it after the hour is up. Oftentimes when I'm doing animation, I draw stuff and then find out that I didn't even need it. Like the fact that this head is about to cover all that leg space that I just drew. But you have to, that's why I draw outside the frame as well. It helps with knowing where things are. I don't want to detail that, maybe a little bit. Maybe not. Let's see, neck, collarbone. Now, that's the benefits of drawing with the scribbles like I do. Don't have to be like overly detailed. Whatever. Okay, so next frame. Oh, I have to move him over a little bit. So after, like usually I do straight ahead animation, but I'm still, straight ahead animation, not exactly the best method for animation, but it's what works best for me. So I mean, I guess it is the best for me at least, but it helps me, I don't know. But yeah, so what I typically do on the next frame is just draw right on top of the previous frame and then move it to the spot that it needs to be in. It's weird, but I think of it in my head, like where I want it to go. So for this, we would be, let's see, this might be too big. Could jump pretty far. And might have to go back and do it in between to make it look better. But the plan, well, the plan was to, okay, I think I got it. Alright, so we have to move some of that off of there. Actually, let's redo this shoulder, bring it up just a little bit higher. So we jumped ahead a little bit because I'm playing out the whole entire movement in my head as I draw, and obviously can't draw as fast. But what I will do is go back and fix things. Alright, so that's the hair. Because it's hard to, the hard part is trying to do the camera movement and the animation at the same time. But once you see the finished thing, if my vision comes into play like I wanted to, it should be noticed. Like, you should be able to tell what was done and like the goal, the plan. Hopefully, let's see. So that's the bicep, that's chest, bicep, wings. Get down to the hip. Gotta travel through there. Dynamic pose. That might be too dynamic. Let's bring that knee back a little bit. Oh, you know what? It's up too high. Alright, let's shrink this. Actually, you know what? This wouldn't even be visible. I'm looking at the body size. Like all of this. You wouldn't be able to see pretty much any of that. You'd get that much, and that's about it. Like, even his arm over here might be too big. Alright, so we got the movement going for the camera. Now we're gonna hold on this picture just a little bit as we animate his arm. So we'll move over the same amount of frames. The only reason, actually, you know what? Here, let's duplicate the previous frame and then just do these. Alright, so we're gonna erase this arm. So this, not smart, but the good thing about using vectors, which is the type of line I'm drawing with right now, is normally if I'm drawing just one line and I wanted to erase, I can erase the whole line, but since I'm scribbling, it makes it a little harder So I take advantage of that normally when I'm drawing. So like when I think I'll probably start recording the process for the animated series when I do those videos, when I do that animation. But for this, I mean, it's just for the reels. I mean, this will be a video on its own, probably on my YouTube channel as well. Alright, so in this one, what we'll need to do is we'll need the face here, so we can get this idea going. Just the hair. This is everything in the hair. Alright, so not too shabby, but what we the reason why oh, you know what, let's change it just a little bit. We're gonna loop it. And the reason for that is for a somewhat 3D effect. I don't know. So we'll the head go that way, the head is kind of going back like that. So let's see the hairline, and then we'll just clean up all that there. Empty out a little bit of that. There. Let's clean this, and then in order to make it look a little bit different, we have to adjust a couple things. So we will turn his head, clear this line, they're very slight movements, but when you watch the animation back, you can tell, like you can see those movements. Probably should have went the other piece, but it's crazy because it's a lot of detail that goes into such one, like a short, brief moment. Didn't really want to do faces, but purpose of this, I'm gonna say 3D shot, is to show the face. Alright, so let's see what else we can. As wild as it is, erasing that and redrawing it, you'll see it like a small difference, but it's a difference. Then fix this here. Alright, so one frame. Doing all that work for one frame. And this is kind of the reason why I programmed this button into my tab mate, because for me, that's the one I use. I use that button to duplicate the previous frame. Because unfortunately, it doesn't come with that. So we got this. I don't know how much of a difference that part made, but what we'll do next, simple, one frame. This one should be pretty quick, about half hour in. We'll lift it, we'll do high, turn it, and that should be it for that arm. However, the face, oh actually no, that's not it. Alright, so we're gonna take the hand and scoot it out a little bit. These are the very few shortcuts that you get with animation, with 2D animation. So let's see, this is gone. One frame. I'm saying one frame just to show like the amount of work that goes into just like 3/5 of seconds. But after this one, I'll play it back, and then we'll move on to the next angle. I mean, since we're at the halfway point, but let's see. I feel like maybe this hand should be mostly extended. So let's go with this instead. Let's raise it higher. The benefits of scribbles. This is it right here. Being able to draw a hand without putting much effort into it. For people who've been drawing for a long time, pretty much anybody who's ever really drawn a picture, they know that hands are most artists' worst thing. They can't stand drawing hands. I am among those artists. So now, we'll take advantage of the so-called 3D movement. This out of here, even though I just drew it, because why not? We're not really worried about what the eyes look like. We just kind of want to get this face on the screen for a brief second. Actually, before I draw that, we'll take this. Actually, let's take the whole thing and tilt it. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so make sure we're going in the right direction is all. We don't need that actually. I'm gonna move that. And then we'll just connect the hair. Get that jacked up hairline real quick. Disconnect the eyebrows. This is a separate head, so and then clear up that. We can maybe do that. Nah, I hate that. Clear that off there. Alright, so got the wrist back there, goes into there, all that stuff I drew before the head got in the way. Alright, so let's go back to the beginning, just play out this little bit. Oh, let me clear up the keyframe, the shadows. So, as you can see where it's going. I got it spaced out like I do because I may need in betweens, and if I don't, then you know it's fine. But it's not gonna play out at that speed if I don't use any in betweens. I'll condense it so that it plays out a little bit faster. But let's see. Clear that off of there, and then look at the last 3 frames and try to keep the camera movement going. So on this one, we'll keep this frame, but the next one we will take our character and tilt him, and also shrink him a little. That will kind of make sense in a second. And then on this one, we're just going to shrink. So I don't need to circle them because it's the whole thing, but let's see. Shrink along this and move him backwards. So now move on to the next camera movement, which is kind of going to be a slight tilt. Basically we're following the face, the skull, the little head that he's holding. So we will turn him to be more along this line. Yeah, I'm drawing his face really big, but it's not necessary because I'm gonna shrink it. I just wanted to make it a little more easier for me to get the angle that I need. Alright, so this is ear. Just to make sure we still looking at the same thing here. This is shoulder in the back there. New collarbone. Boom. Oops, a little dipped. Okay, so now shoulders here, bicep, forearm, actually let's see if we can lift it up a little bit. As far as here, we will actually, we'll just get rid of that part. So like the bicep, all types of body names that I'm not thinking of is forearm. So his forearm is going to be hid behind his fist as we move around the picture. His fist is bigger because it's closer to the camera. Let's see. And hide that part. Barely visible bicep there. Jump right into the pecs. Wing. I don't know the name of that actual body piece is, but we're now kind of on a, I don't know what angle we want to call this. It's a high hip, so let's bring that down a little bit. chest. All this is off screen. I mean off camera anyway. So kinda irrelevant, but we're gonna actually his hit didn't even matter. Keep forgetting about the dang on head, but we'll just go like that. Just clear something off of there. Clear all this out of the way. I will be off screen. Some stuff you just don't gotta worry about drawing, and that's cool. Actually, that still needs a bit of a curve on it. I'm trying to think of a good way to do this. Terrible hairline. I guess that'll work. Alright, so I'll leave the line for his face, it doesn't really matter. Let's see. Next frame. Boom. Alright, so now obviously the next frame would be him looking dead on at the camera. I just wasn't sure how much of a jump cut to this frame we wanted, so we'll, because it's jumping straight from kind of close up to sort of far back. We get like a full body shot of him. Just hold the head right there and cover up most of it. Oh, right. What am I doing? So the cool part, we will, I'll just do it first before I draw the rest of the body. Cool part about onion skins is you're about to find out they come in handy majorly for stuff like this. Split thigh, calf, so smaller foot in the back. So as they're further away with these little scribble animations, they don't typically need to have like a ton of time wasted when it comes to doing the feet or shins or anything. Like, as long as you can tell, it's usually pretty easy. Alright, so this is the cool part. As a matter of fact, I think I'm gonna have them pan as well. So instead, every once in a while, like sometimes I'll do the camera movements, the flow of the shot, I'll do that all at the same time as well, because I'm envisioning how it looks or how it's going to play out. Like with the green guy jumping off the rocks, that one was a thought out move, and I cranked up the speed on it, which I don't know if I should have, but so this one should be pretty cool. I'm gonna, at least I hope it is. Let's find out what it looks like once they're done. I'm gonna actually, there's no gonna redraw this part so it looks better. I've come to find out when I copy things, they tend to look weird. They look choppy, but when I draw the parts out, oh, I gotta go back and add the hairline. When I draw the parts out, the animation looks more fluid. So we'll skip 2 frames, so kind of condensing things, it'll move a little bit faster. We'll copy, oh wait, gotta go back and reveal parts as they come up. So let's see. That's the previous. Okay, so. Oh man, I'm missing parts that really should have been cleared out, like this. So what we'll do to not be completely still, we move his hand overlap, clear that out, connect new parts, jacked up hairline, boom. Next, oh, you know what? So this one, we'll just scoot him over a tad bit. What this does is give a little camera movement so that it's not stagnant. And just pendulum the head a little bit because, you know, gravity and all that. Clear out the parts that are blocked. Jagged hairline, connect. What is now revealed. Two frames over, and boom, next. Alright, so this, I'll do one more and then, actually, you know, I'm gonna finish the whole pendulum process. So we'll remove this first. Move his hand back just a smidge. Little tiny movements, they make all the difference when it comes to animation like this. That might have been too far out. Let's rein it in just a bit. Okay. And still a little bit much, so clear all that off. I don't want to waste too much time trying to be perfect with that, but like the jagged hairline won't even matter, to be honest. Other things that could be done to illustrate this movement is like motion blur, which I'm still struggling with. I can't get a motion blur that I like. What I'm inspired by as far as animation goes is Legend of Korra, which is high expectations for like what I want to do. But because of that being my inspiration, I checked out the motion blur that they use. Not Legends of Korra alone, but Avatar, the Avatar universe. And their motion blur is really small and subtle. So I'm trying to figure out a good way to maybe do that. But so far I'm still struggling with it in my artwork. I think it's because my line work is really heavy, so it looks weird when I do motion blur. But anyway, this should be the last one, and I'll play it back. Let's just move him over a smidge and then do the swing back. Now there's shorter ways to do this. For instance, I could have used, oops, let's go outward. I could have used the previous frame right here. The problem is the previous frame, if I duplicate it and use it, it'll be the exact same, whereas the camera's still panning him over to the side. The head is going back. So if I use that old frame, he would have been in the same spot as the old one. It's the thing that Clip Studio does. I don't know. So let's go back. So yeah, just from that little brief playthrough, I'm gonna run to the end real quick and shorten this up. But from that brief playthrough, I'm actually gonna have like maybe here, and then grab that end piece. Just from that, I can see that I'm gonna need some in-betweens to make it look more fluid. But I guess that's gonna be it for this. Still got like 8 minutes, but by the time I get to the end of the 8 minutes, I don't know. Anyway, see you guys in the next one. Let me know if you like these. Let me know if you could use, if you have any pointers. Actually, I would love to get some pointers on a faster way of animating, because of the project I'm working on right now. I'm the only one animating. I do all the colors, the backgrounds, the line work, shadows, all that stuff, and it's taken a long time. So if you got any tips on moving faster, please leave them down in the comments. Also, if you enjoy watching an hour stream, or not stream, but like an hour watch along type of thing, let me know about that too. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well, because this will probably be the videos that are posted on the YouTube channel for now. Once the animated series is up, that'll probably be available on the Patreon I'm setting up. At first, I don't know. I'm still working out all that stuff. I also do all the behind the scenes stuff as well, production, directing, writing, all that stuff. So it's taken a long time for that reason. And once I have everything all set, I'll definitely be announcing it, probably in a video similar to this one. And catch you guys in the next one.